May the peace of God, which passes all understanding, be with you now and always. Amen. Please be seated. Well, there's a heck of a gospel reading, isn't it? Holy mackerel. Now, here's the thing, folks. You could have heard the Gospel of Luke today. You could have heard me preaching about the return of the prodigal son. Because a while back, the vicar sent me an email saying, hey, September is Recovery Month. Would you like to preach Recovery Sunday? And me being a smart aleck said, LOL, isn't every Sunday I preach Recovery Sunday? So I get this. And you better believe, yes, this too is going to be a recovery sermon because it's part of who I am. So let's look at this, right? Starts off with John saying, hey, there's a guy over here not doing something right, and we tried to stop him. But actually it starts further back because John just didn't say that out of nowhere. This gospel that we're reading today is a continuation of last week where Jesus is conversing with his disciples. They had been talking on the road, and Jesus said, what are you talking about? And they're like, we were talking about who's going to be greatest. And Jesus said, you have to be the least in order to be first. And that is something we don't want to hear. We don't want to pick up the trash after the parade has passed by. We want to be on the float waving to people. Jesus says that's not our role. So you know, because the disciples are humans, that when they are arguing about who's going to be greatest, it's not just, I'm going to be the greatest because I have all of these accolades. It's also, well, I'm better than Thomas because Thomas doesn't believe anything. And I'm much better than Peter because Peter is always just opening his mouth and spouting off the first thing that comes. So obviously I'm better, right? These are the disciples arguing. Jesus tells them, no, don't do that. You've got to be least. It's not about being first. And John is only half listening, like we do, and he's thinking, well, here, look, teacher, we might not be all that great, but this guy over here, we tried to stop him because he was doing something wrong. And at this point, in my Jesus, it's either a palm to the face or an eye roll thinking, what did I just tell you? So let's start with this first part, right? If they are for us, they are not against us. If people are doing good, it doesn't matter if they're Christians. Jesus couldn't say that because they weren't Christians, right? They weren't following him. But if people are Buddhist and doing good, if people are Muslim and doing good, if people are atheist and doing good, yes, please continue doing good. Then Jesus turns it around and he brings it back. And this is where it gets into Recovery Sunday. Because Jesus says, if your eye, if your foot, if your hand, he's asking us to look inside. In recovery circles, this is known as the fourth step, to take a fearless and moral inventory of ourselves. What am I doing that is causing pain to other people? And nobody of us want to do that. No. I'm much better taking your inventory. I can tell you all the things that are wrong with you and how you ought to change. I'll gouge your eye out and throw it back at you because you're not doing it right. That's not what Jesus says. Jesus says, look inside. What am I doing that's causing pain to other people? And he's not literally talking about chopping our hand off, but our hands, for most of us that are able-bodied, are how we work. If what I do causes you pain, I've got to change. If the path that I am on is causing you to not see the glory of Christ in me, I've got to change. And if how I perceive the world through my eyes is causing you to want to not be in the church, To be close to Jesus, I've got to change. It's not about other people. It's never about other people. It's got to be about me and what am I doing? Jesus doesn't say correct other people because that is easy. John just pointed out, that guy over there. Jesus says, stop looking at that guy over there. Look inside. What am I doing? How can I change? How can I bring about the kingdom of God? And it's in little ways. It's in small ways. When I got sober, I realized that I was doing so much better. I had given up the big sins, right? I was no longer blatantly lying. But I had to really look at where I was not being truly honest either, right? That's a searching and fearless moral inventory. If what I say is causing you harm, if what I do, if my actions are not reflecting the glory of Christ, then I need to change. I need to change, not you. So another part that I like in this, man, we could do like 3 Sundays on this one gospel thing, right? I mean, seriously, it is chock-a-block full. We could do a whole Sunday school series just on this section.
You still have to ignore Esther and James.
I know. I was joking with Colin about that. It's just a really happy Sunday. So this last part, right, this thing about, then Jesus like switches and he talks about fire and salt. And we're like, wait, what? Right, that was a little switch. But what he's saying, what I read in this, he says, everybody will be salted with fire. Ouch. We are going to be seasoned with pain. I think that he says this because in the minds of the disciples and in the minds of all of us human beings, when we start looking at our moral inventory, we start saying, but other people, but they're not good, but they don't do this, but they've got this, but they've got that. Everybody suffers. Everybody will be salted with fire. Salt is good. Salt is good. We love it. It is one of the best flavor enhancers that we have, right? We all loved caramel. We loved caramel until 10 years ago when somebody said, let me put a little salt on that, and I'm like, oh, salted caramel! Salted caramel, we love it. It's a flavor enhancer, right? Nobody puts pepper on the caramel, right? Also a spice, but not right. So the idea that we are salt, we are the flavor enhancers, y'all. Christians, we should be contributing this flavor to life. All of us. Be salty. I have been accused of being salty. Be salty. Bring flavor to life. Don't be dull. If salt has lost its flavor, what's it for? It's just crunch. Be salty. Bring the flavor into your life. How do we do that? First of all, we have to get rid of the things that aren't bringing joy and life-giving abundance to everyone we meet. We do that by looking inside. Fearless moral inventory. That's step 4. Step 5 said you have to say this to another human being. It's like, It was hard enough me looking at my garbage. I'm certainly not going to tell anybody else. Yet James says, confess your sins. Confess your sins to each other. We don't want to do that. Not a one of us. It is embarrassing. We don't want to tell people I messed up. Man, no, I want them to see this beautiful facade I have built. I'm lovely. Y'all love me. Everything's good. And then it's not really. We become human when we're able to say, I did wrong. Please forgive me. I have looked into my own soul and have realized the changes that I need to make. I have looked and I have seen how I have hurt you. And I want to remove that pain, and I want to give you a little spice. I want to enhance your life. I want to bring more flavor to the world. So Jesus, who starts off telling us we should just chop our body parts away, ends with saying, have salt among yourselves and be at peace. That's good news. We go through the tough parts of life, and if we're doing it well, we're looking at our own stuff, not pointing out somebody else's stuff. We do this, we get to have that peace, and then we get to go and flavor the world. Amen.